It's 7 o'clock at night, November 17th. I've been a pretty decent deer season so far. I've shot 5 deer. To go along with that, it means I got some broadheads to resharpen. So I've been shooting G5 Montecs for a couple years now, maybe 3. Before that, I shot Muzzies for about a decade before that, probably more than a decade. I shot Rages. So part of why I wanted to shoot a Montec to begin with is that you can resharpen them, so a little bit more economical. You see a lot of stuff out there. People are always asking, how do you sharpen them? I can't get them that sharp, that sort of stuff. You know, they're $40 for a 3-pack broadhead. Most years I get them when they have a rebate, so you're only paying $30. They're not, you know, not $100 and some for 3-pack of broadheads. They're just not going to be the craziest sharp thing on earth, but they get way more than adequate sharp. I've had a couple. I think everything I've shot with them this year's been a pass through. I've had a couple where I've hit deer like mid-body and it's come out their chest, full pass-throughs. So I find that I get them way more than adequately sharp. So I'm going to show you how I do it real quick. These particular ones I got here are pretty dinged up. Like this particular one. I use the original Montecs. I know there's a bunch of versions now. This one I shot the other day in a swamp. And it went down, it buried in the mud almost to the fletchings. And it really dinged up the blade pretty bad. So we'll see how that one comes out. But to start, what I did is take a Sharpie and I color on the edges of these things. See if I can get a better light here and see it. You can see I color the blade, whatever color Sharpie you got. The logic is that as I get to running this on the stone, I make sure that all the Sharpie comes off, so I know I hit everything even. The stone I use, I had a whole set of flat stones you buy from Amazon. They're still cheap. You know, it's got 4 different grits. But the original thing I ever bought was this cheap diamond stone. It's like 15 bucks. It's 1,200 on one side, 600 on the other. This has been the best thing I've found for sharpening. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just luck. They're all cheap. You know, you can do sandpaper. You can do a wide variety of things. But this is the cheap way I found that works perfectly fine for me. So I run them on the stone. Then I have a cheap leather straw here I'll run them on to finish them up. So I'm not going to bore you watching me do this whole thing, but we'll go through some of the process and see how it's done. So to start here, I'm just doing even pressure. When you sharpen on stone, you sharpen forward. You're pressing forward. So I always flip to the right. You see, just on one pass, I've got pretty much all the Sharpies off of these. So I'm really checking these out for dings. You'll see a lot that the tip on these kind of rolls over just barely. It's enough that I don't think you're going to be able to tell it on the quality of this GoPro. But the tip will roll over just a little bit. I've never found it to affect anything. And what I will do after this still, I did a terrible job cleaning this one off, so I got deer hair on it. I'm going to take all these and shoot them. So I'll spin them and I'll shoot them. Just to make sure, and then I'll touch them up again. You know, one pass into a target doesn't ding them up too bad, so I'll just hit them on the strop again afterwards, and go from there. So this process here, you just repeat as necessary. If it's really dinged up, you would I'd start with a coarser stone. I'd start with the coarser side and then switch to the finer, which I'll probably have to for this one, because this one right here is super mauled up. But once I do that, then I go to the strop to finish it off. All right, so this strop, again, it's cheap leather strop I got from Amazon. Came with a couple different kind of polishing compounds, which you can see you can kind of work in there. Some of them seem to work well, some of them don't. I don't know. I haven't really convinced either way if it makes a difference. But when you come to the strop, unlike the stone, you push forward on the stone. The strop you pull backwards. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. If you put too much pressure, it'll actually make it'll almost make it dig into the leather, which will dull it. So essentially what you're doing is you made the surface smooth with the stone, and then now as you hit the strop, you're just kind of really finishing it off, getting any burrs out of it, things like that, stuff that's going to make it really slick. So just light pressure but steady. Whatever you're doing, 5, 10, whatever, just count them out, make sure you stay even. I flip to the right. Once I roll through that stone strop, do it till I get to the sharpness I'm comfortable with. The way I've always tested, you can sit here and you can try to like shave hair off your hand or off your arm and stuff, which can be a good judge, but eventually you're just gonna kind of end up looking kind of stupid with a bunch of bald spots on your hand and arm. So what I like to do is take a piece of paper, try to get it stiff, and you're just seeing how easy it cuts. And the more you do this, you kind of get a vibe for what sharp is and what isn't, and you can tell if it's at a level you're comfortable with or not. Again, I don't like take a replaceable fixed blade. Like I shot Muzzy for a lot of years, or a Magnus or something like that. I've never got these to feel as sharp as that. I just haven't. But I get them to cut paper perfectly fine. I've never had a flight problem with them, even out of moderately tuned bows. And yeah, I've just always had really good luck with them. I really like them. They're an American-made broadhead. I just had good success. So I'm gonna get these polished up. I got a whole week of vacation coming up. I plan on making a reason to sharpen them again. But that's just a quick short video on how I sharpen Montecs. I've never had a problem with it, and I keep having good luck with them. So hopefully it works for you.